All right, guys, here we go. Launching into this game. Down here in the bottom right-hand side, in the red, the next victim of Florencio here in this episode of the Florencio Files. It is Macy. Up here in the top left-hand side, in the blue, the Protoss player. It is Florencio. Going to be bringing out a Protoss vs Zerg build here, and there is already a probe going across the map. My lord, that is a fast probe. This is a fast, cheeky boy. Look at him. His little blue eye there, focused, ready. He wants to bring the pain train home. He wants to go down to that Zerg base and say, how about a nice talk last to get fucked? He's going to come in there real fast and just kind of have a look around. He's like, yeah, I'm going to block your base, boy. The drone comes down. He's like, what the fuck? Get out of here, you dickhead. I'm going to nibble your ass. Look at him. Look at the way he uses those little crab claws. He goes, ah, fuck me. That's a pylon. Also known to Zerg players as the big fucking eye of poop that says, ha, you can't build here, you dickhead. So that's the dickhead pylon, as it's often known. I don't think Macy knows who Florencio is, guys. You're playing against someone called Florencio, you see a pylon in your natural, you go and take your third. Oof, I got to feel like you don't exactly realize who you're up against, you know? You're there, you think you're playing an old-style boxing match. You're both holding your gloves up, you're like, you ready for a set of fisticuffs, good sir? Fucking doesn't realize, apparently, maybe is blind, that his opponent is wearing a skimpy fucking bikini and is already lathered up in mud. Also, the bottom half is kind of fish-shaped, a bit gilly. There's a lot of fucking scales going on. Macy says, ready for an old-fashioned fisticuffs fight? What, sir? Doesn't even know there's a fucking sewer mermaid over here who's literally just fucking digging around the mud pit going, aha, fucking cackling madly to himself like the sick fuck that he is. You know, he's even going to just build a fucking rando pylon in the main base, because why not? It serves zero function, but to confuse his opponent. Speaking of confusion, Macy's hatchery finishes and says, oh, those aren't meant to be there. Fuck! Immediately drops the second gas in a roach horn. Macy's like, all right, we're gonna go roaches and ravages. We got to break out of this. Florencio's already massing cannons in the natural. Has got a gateway finish. Hasn't started the core just yet, but actually has quite a lot of probes. Is already going onto the gas back at home. These cannons gonna take down this hatch for showsies, and there is already a lair starting up. Macy preparing for the Nidus Worm. The best move against Florencio. It always works. Definitely doesn't get dicked by the fact that he's already preparing to take his natural expansion down in the bottom left corner of the map. This sick bastard that is Florencio. Just getting ready for the next step of his plan. Hasn't put down a cyber core yet. He's putting down a cannon at the front. I'm starting to wonder, are we going to see gateways? Is he going to actually just build up at home? Florencio maybe not committing to the gateways and the robo on the front side. Also is, oh my god, he fucking sees into the future, does he not? This probe is just sitting here. He says, okay, I knocked you down to one base. I know what you're going to do. You're going to build a hatchery either here or here. There's two little fucking pervert boys just waiting in the shadows that Macy doesn't know about, waiting to plant some cannons. But little does Florencio know, the butthole is already underway, and it's a very fast butthole network. The roaches already coming out, the ravages, the zerglings as well, already starting to rally towards this Nidus Worm. There's an overlord in position in the corner of the main, ready to drop it down, and the nexus is not yet even finished. Florencio needs to be able to recall these probes to safety, or he will be totally fucked. It seems like this ravager here having a little bit of a seizure. Just freaking out a bit. The anticipation of climbing through that Nidus network, and of course the smell that goes along with it. Not something Macy's roaches and ravagers are looking forward to. But they will have to take one for the team. They're gonna have to climb right in there if they want to punish this fucking sewer mermaid. You know what? If you're fighting a sewer mermaid, you've got to get down and dirty. It's 4 minutes 30, and those units dive into the butthole, the sphincter, furiously working, and the head of the Nidus Worm starting to wobble its way out, shooting some dirty crumbs out, trying to clear the tunnel, and there we go. A big explosion into the main base, and he says, Where's your probes? Florencio says, oh, what the fuck? Oh no, you got me main base. Trying to distract Macy from the fact that the probes are already fucking missing. Macy, of course, feeling a bit victorious right now, is like, haha, gotcha. Doesn't even know about the fully mining natural expansion in the most obvious position in the world, as well as the Void Rays and the second Stargate already under production. That cannon puts up a valiant fight, but in the end it does go down, and Macy here going into Ling speed, going into Zerglings, but still with no expansion, still on one base. The cybernetics core is going to go down. Macy building more Zerglings, not building more Queens, and getting a bit excited, thinking the game's probably over at this point, says, ha, I gotcha. And Florencio is like, well, I'm dead, you motherfucker, Florencio. He doesn't really believe in rules. I'm not even sure if he's an anti-hero. How did you get that all in one base, says Florencio. What a fucking dirty bastard he is. Because you don't cannon rush? Simple, says Macy. Oh my, you've been had, Macy. 100% of the time, you die to this. Macy here thinks the game's over, hasn't built an overlord or anything other than some random Zerglings in the last few minutes, thinks killing the cannons here apparently are the last structures and will win the game. Florencio says, wow, why mad? Oh my god, you douchebag. I love you, Florencio. Fucking sick bastard that you are. And look at this macro from Macy, just out of this world. Says, yeah, just got to find the last couple of pylons. Better check just to make sure there's no expansion. Because if I leave him long enough, like, he might get up a few stalkers or something. Let's go to Macy's camera. Macy's like, what the fuck did I just see down there? Fuck. Zero production is up. There we go. It's a Nidus worm. 0 queens, 0 units in production. And there we go. Revenge of the Chads. Florencio coming out with his classic Chad Ray transition. Already one of these cuck Ravagers gets absolutely blitzed by their big, thick, impressive, veiny streams of passion. The Chad Rays coming forward, showing just how much they lift. They're even going to turn it up a section there, blast the Overlord into oblivion, and then they back off down here to these cannons. There's a Nidus worm over here, but only Zerglings have come out of it. So I don't really know how you're going to break this little fuck-off bunch of cannons and batteries and Void Rays. The Chad Rays are strong. 3 from behind, 2 from the front, just like that adult video they made in Cancun that time. The bunch of frat Rays are getting together. They're not just Chat Rays, they're frat Rays as well. 5 Chat Rays. Chat Rays? 3 queens. It's an adult video. You don't want to look up on the internet, guys. Don't do it. 5 Chat Rays, 3 queens, and a whole bunch of fucking explosions of passion. It seems like Florencio's hold there was on point. Starts to put workers back on gases and minerals, and is standing strong. Once again, we find a Zerg player locked in on one base, struggling to figure out what the fuck they should be doing. We've got 4 Hydralisks, Hydra range, but there's already a fucking fierce pack of Chads out. What are you gonna do, mate? And there's 2 more on the way, at least when he gets unsupply blocked at some point in the next 12 minutes. He will be anyway. And this probe that's been fucking camping here all game long does its job, sees the hatchery, and that's how you do it. The pack of Chad Rays come down. They're going to take out these Zerglings, and they are going to move up and clear that hatchery. He says 1 base versus 1 base. Chads will win any day of the week. And the Void Ray, I don't know, man. Hydra's not... They're pretty good against Chads, but you need a bit more economy, mate. I mean, these are your low-cost labor. This is your retail, your fast food. These guys all work for their dad's company. None of them actually know how to do anything rather than snort cocaine, but they get paid a lot. And that's really what matters when it comes to a head-to-head combat, because they probably have guns and these guys have cardboard cutters. You've got to get something else up here. The Queen's not a bad choice. The Transfusers, the fact that they've got a lot of hit points, might be able to tank against these Chad Rays, but there's more and more coming in. And, of course, Florencio going to swap into the Disco Balls of Death. Mass Oracle going to be the follow-up. Oh no! Oh, Macy. This is the second time this game. We're on Macy's camera. Macy says, sweet, ready to drone up my hatch. Fuck! Right now, there's a bit of spittle starting to come out of the mouth of Macy. The keyboard is looking like a very vulnerable target for the fist of Macy right now. Macy's going, fuck this Zerg player. Fuck This Protoss player, fuck your cannons. Oh, and no doubt the rage is starting to overflow. I can hear the Emperor's words right now. Let the hate run through you, Macy. Let it just flow through your body. Don't give it up. Don't just be like, oh no, I'm gonna calmly accept I made a mistake and get better next time. Embrace the rage. It'll only make you more powerful than you could ever imagine. That's right. Pop another butthole out and try to get your fierce revenge. One big Hydra Queen timing attack. What better way to finish the game than that? The Chadray is busy in the north side of the map. Find another hatchery. Macy's every attempt to expand being pissed on by this bunch of coke fiend Chadrays. They're joined up. It's like college all over again, and they're just looking for another set of pledges to fucking toy with. They do that to an Overlord. They give it the mega wedgie there. Meanwhile, the Hydras come in, but not before a couple of disco boys do come out. 3 Hydras versus 12 Hydras. A beautiful engagement from Florencio. He hands the controller to Neeb, who immediately pulls back and says, you fucking Gronk, did you just attack with 3 Oracles against 12 Hydras? What the fuck are you doing? Actually, you know, it would be kind of funny to watch this struggle. I'm gonna give you the controller back. Nah, just kidding. Gonna turn on me laser beams. Neeb, with the Xbox controller, shows amazing control there. The Oracles fly to their death, but the Chadrays with the shield batteries, just a little bit too much. That private health insurance pays dividends when it comes to a bloody brawl like this. Doesn't matter how many ribs you break, they'll be back up in no time. You can break their nose and mar their beautiful physique, but they're just gonna get plastic surgery anyway. These fuckers have never worked for anything in their life, but it doesn't matter because they've got the biggest stream of them all. All they need to do is line up, cross the streams, and pee on their opponents, and all 3 Chadrays will, of course, be taking Macy to Dicktown. Macy already halfway there right now, desperately walking along, limping, I dare say, with just a fucking wounded group of Hydras, one little Ravager boy trying desperately to hang on, mad at the injustice here that these Chadrays have meted out upon the Zerg player. But the Chadrays aren't done. They think it's funny. They think a homeless Zerg player with no fucking economy left, that's been trapped, has been kicked out of the home and hounded by all sorts of horrors their entire life. They think it's a joke. They're going to pay it to fight another homeless Zerg. They're going to laugh at it. The Chadrays, their fucking noses filled with cocaine, their veins filled with urine, ready to turn on their prismatic alignment and finish the game. Or are they? They're going to take their time. They want to play with the food. And you know what? I guess it makes sense. You've only got 3 Chadrays there. 1 Chadray over here denying the expansion attempt again. Says, get fucked. I don't like your people in my neighborhood. They look wrong. The Chadray's going to come in. They're going to fight on their terms here with the shield batteries healing them up. 1 Chadray does go down. Oh no. Turns out a thick stream of piss doesn't actually help you against light armored units. Hydras actually don't give a fuck. But we always like to turn on prismatic alignment anyway, just to pretend we are manly and in charge, because there's nothing more manly than a large stream of fucking void ray laser. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. I think this game might go on for a while, guys. I was building up to the big crescendo there, but I think they're just going to go back and forth for a while since the Stargates are dead and he can't really build shit, and he's mining out and he can't really build shit, and finally Florencio has taken a 3rd base. Good to see he's taken it in the normal location and actually has a few cannons that are going to help out from earlier in the game. Macy here desperately trying to find a value with the Hydralisks, looking for a little bit of damage, and the Hydra's going to come forward. Cannons say, oh really, you want to take that fight? Don't know if that's the best idea, buddy. And they are doing pretty well. The single Stalker, very brave there, standing in the face of the Hydras and Ravagers, putting up a good fight. My man. Dragoon Embrace says, you'd think Florencio just has bad micro, but what Neeb didn't understand is he sacrificed the Oracles to lull Macy into a false sense of superiority to bait him into attacking into the cannons. So it turns out Dragoon Embrace is actually the Florencio Whisperer, one of the few people who can fathom the amazing scientific decisions of Florencio. Don't know if you guys know this, but Florencio does actually hold 3 different graduate degrees from the StarCraft School of Science, and that is indeed why he's actually able to make decisions which most of us look at and can barely fathom. It's a little bit like your common layman trying to understand theoretical physics. It just doesn't make too much sense to us plebs, but Florencio knows what he's doing. He's got a reason, and you know what? 2 Chadrays, a couple of batteries, they might look like they're in trouble, but It's time for him to get his fix of that juicy recall. Evacuates out of there and says, it's fine. I'm still up 4 workers. I'm rebuilding me laser boy disco ball of death count. And Macy, no doubt, is a little bit triggered right now. Has a Zergling right there, doesn't even know about this base. I think Macy has been in Struggle Street for a while, hasn't been able to get an expansion, has tried to take so many hatcheries, and has been absolutely unable to do it. Finally kills another Nexus here. And at some point, it is no doubt going to start dawning in Macy's brain that he's been duped. Florencio has another base, another trust fund. And you've barely scratched the surface, my friend. There's more cannons here, there's more cannons here, there's more cannons here, and there's cannons and stargates here. It's impossible to finish off this man. He's an absolute fucking maniac, and he will take every base in every corner. He will build his cannons, he will build his flying units, and he's gonna laser you to death. But oh no, Chadray's in the open. Great reaction. Neeb clearly in control of the Xbox controller right now. For you guys who don't know, Neeb NCO does actually stream only using an Xbox controller to micro the units. And it's part of why I agreed to cast the games. I said, some guy that just cannon rushes and does silly cheeses, I'm not going to cast those games. And he said, but I do it with an Xbox controller and Neeb's over at my house and sometimes he micros. And I said, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. I guess I will cast that. So people on chat are saying the usual, what level is this? This can't be that high level. Usually these players are around high masters, sometimes low masters, occasionally low GM as well. It's a bit of a variation. People in chat are saying, but how? How could this Zerg possibly be in the Master League? You're meant to know what's happening. What you seem to forget, guys, is that Florencio graduated from the StarCraft School of Science and knows how to literally mind-fuck his opponents. The Hydra's coming in. Macy says, I think I've got it. I've got too many Hydras. I think I can break this base. I don't think you can do it. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna come in here. Oh, fuck. Chadrays are in me main base. Florencio comes in with the high-level counterattack, says, okay, buddy, you want to play a base trade? Do ya? Do ya? Couple of Chadrays in your back door, mate. They've got no sense of honor. They fight dirty, and they're just going to start killing everything. Even if Macy kills the economy, you got to fight the cannons. And how are you going to get rid of those? The Hydras taking the damage. These little fucking photon boys. Oh, and here come the fuck off lasers. Macy getting taken to a dark, lasery place. The probes being pulled in, but is there enough Hydras? I think there is. The Hydras hold strong. The probes have to evacuate. Florencio has been held. And Macy stands strong and says, maybe, just maybe I can do it. But another Hydra strays into range of the cannon, takes down the last Nexus. There's no money for another Nexus. But there's still 3 Chads in the south of the map. You know what? There's money, there's lava, there's a Hydra den. But Macy still has not started building Hydralisks. Instead is building a hatchery. When there's only 3 Chadrays standing strong, only now starting Hydralisk production. Could have been building Hydras this whole time. The amazing decision-making of a Zerg who is so flustered, so mad, and is looking at their keyboard saying, yeah, it's about time I buy another one. I think I should break this keyboard just to make myself feel a bit better. Because otherwise I'm probably gonna go beat my pet dog. Like, it's that dark fucking sick place where there's shit no one would ever consider doing, but Macy's thinking about it. Macy's like, yeah, I would fucking find a wounded bird and I wouldn't even nurse it back to health. I'd just walk on. I'd listen to it chirping, I'd be like, nah, fuck you, I hate life. I don't want to help you, you shithead. Right now, Macy is hating life, is hating himself, but most importantly, is hating these fucking Chadrays who have killed about 17 hatcheries this game. They keep going around the map, and they're looking for one last hatchery to kick in. They love taunting a homeless Zerg player, flaunting their riches, and you know what? Trust funds be damned. I'm a bit of fan of the Chadrays myself. 21 kills? 13 kills? And 13 kills. That's a grand total of, fuck me, I'm about to do maths on stream, 49 kills between 3 Void Rays. That is the chattiest. Look at this probe as well. Little hero on the ground gonna tank. The Chads are gonna dive. They're gonna go for it. They're gonna take him down. The focus fire is good. The corrosive bile gets dodged. Neeb is in control. And he manages to take them down. Turns on the prismatic alignment to celebrate. And Macy right now staring at the computer in disbelief and says, fuck your mum. Florencio, of course, stays in the game. watching his Chad Rays unleash those Mountain Dew-filled bladders all over that hatchery. That says, there you go, boys, let's celebrate. You can see he's still microing his units. He hasn't left the replay yet because his name's Florencio, and he doesn't leave replays till he fucking kills everything. Oh, what a legend. The man, the myth, the legend, the sewer mermaid, the absolute maniac who makes my life so much more beautiful. He is Florencio, and he's done it again, the sick fuck. Thank you very much for that amazing game, my friend.